San Francisco, 1870. A woman in black boards a ferry. She walks straight up to her lover, Alexander Parker Crittenden, and shoots him in the chest, right in front of his wife. Her name? Love affair. This is not just a love story. It's a tale of betrayal, madness, and cold-blooded murder. Alexander Parker Crittenden was born on January 14, 1816, into one of Kentucky's most influential families, known as the Crittendens. He emerged as a prominent lawyer and politician in 19th century California, a state rapidly evolving amidst the challenges and opportunities of the American frontier. The Crittenden family was deeply connected to American political life. One of their close friends was Andrew Jackson, the 7th President of the United States. Jackson personally advised Alexander to send his sons to West Point Military Academy, believing it was the best path to a secure and honorable future. Following this advice, Alexander's sons, along with his younger brother Sherman, attended West Point, marking the family's firm commitment to public service and leadership. Alexander himself graduated from West Point and served as a military officer alongside his brother for a year. At 22, he married and relocated to Texas, seeking new horizons. By 1852, he had moved to San Francisco, California, where he co-founded a highly respected law firm, Wedden & Wilson, quickly becoming a leading figure in the legal community of a booming city. Let's begin by exploring the fascinating and turbulent life of Laura Fair. Laura Fair was a young woman of just 22 years when she first married a man named Stone. Tragically, her husband passed away shortly after their marriage. Seeking a new beginning, Laura later remarried a man named Thomas in New Orleans. However, their union was short-lived, ending in divorce after just 6 months. In 1859, Laura married once again, this time to Colonel W.B. Fair, who served as a sheriff. The couple moved to San Francisco, but their marriage was far from peaceful. Their relationship was marked by intense conflicts and frequent violence, especially surrounding issues of control and power. Over time, the tensions escalated until Colonel Fair made a devastating decision. He took his own life in December 1861. The exact reasons behind his suicide remain unclear, but it was undoubtedly the tragic climax of a stormy and troubled marriage. After his death, Laura moved to Virginia, embarking on a new chapter amid a country on the brink of chaos. Now, to understand Laura's story fully, we must place it within the context of one of America's most tumultuous periods, the Civil War. From 1861 to 1865, the United States was torn apart by civil war. The southern states, including where Laura lived, were aligned with the Confederacy, fighting fiercely against the Union forces of the North. Laura Fair was no ordinary woman of her time. She is rumored to have been directly involved in the war effort. Reports say that she took up arms and ventured into contested border areas, firing shots at Union soldiers who ventured too close. Although her shots did not cause any significant casualties, her actions were seen as an act of fierce loyalty, defending the Southern cause with courage and determination. Laura's life was a blend of personal tragedy, resilience, and historical upheaval. Her story is not just about a woman caught in the storms of marriage and loss, but also about a figure who stepped into the chaos of war, showing a complexity and strength that made her stand out in history. Now, let's continue the story of Laura Fair, a woman whose life was marked by tragedy, conflict, and controversy. While living in San Francisco, Laura became involved in a shocking incident. She shot and killed a man in a public area. Laura claimed that the man had previously attempted to assault her. However, the social and political climate of the time was chaotic, with the nation still reeling from the Civil War. This made the investigation and the subsequent legal proceedings unusual and complicated. Ultimately, Laura was acquitted. The court accepted her defense that she had acted in self-defense, a verdict that sparked intense debate and divided public opinion across the western United States. Her case touched on complex issues of gender, justice, and power in a society struggling to redefine itself after war. But Laura was not only known for her turbulent personal life. She also possessed a remarkable talent for acting. On March 5, 1863, despite facing severe personal challenges, she performed in a prestigious theatrical production. She played the role of Lady Tay in School for Scandal, a classic play, known for its sharp critique of aristocracy and social hypocrisy. Laura's performance received wide acclaim, highlighting her ability to command the stage, even while her private life was fraught with turmoil. Fast forward to August 1870. Laura Fair's life took another dramatic turn when she met a young man named Alexander Crittenden. Their relationship quickly blossomed into love, leading to marriage. But, as with much of Laura's life, happiness was fleeting. Within months of their wedding, their relationship deteriorated. Conflicts and tensions escalated rapidly, sowing discord not only between them, but within their extended families as well. On October 8th, Alexander confided in Laura that he did not see a future together, that their marriage would not last. He went as far as to say that if he had not died soon, they would likely have parted ways. Little did anyone know what happened next would shock the entire California community and become a sensational story for years to come. As the old saying goes, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. In other words, rumors and gossip spread quickly, especially in a society like theirs, much like today, where people often believe hearsay without proof. But what unfolded in November 1870 at the Oakland waterfront was no mere rumor. It was a stark, brutal reality that shook California to its core. On November 3rd, Alexander's family went out on a boat trip. As they gathered at the Oakland docks, preparing to board, a mysterious woman dressed entirely in black appeared. She wore a long black coat and a veil that obscured her face. Her gaze was unsettling. She stared fixedly at Alexander's family without blinking, sending a chill through the air. Alexander himself felt uneasy, puzzled by the woman's presence. But soon, everyone boarded the boat, including this veiled stranger. Then, without warning, the woman drew a pistol and fired a shot directly into Alexander's chest. The bullet was fatal. Alexander collapsed instantly. After the shooting, the woman fled the boat alone. Fortunately for the investigation, police officers at the dock witnessed the event and quickly pursued the assailant. They apprehended her on the spot. When questioned, the woman revealed her identity, none other than Mrs. Laura Fair. The following week, Laura was brought in for police questioning. During the interrogation, an odd and disturbing incident occurred. When offered water, she refused to drink it. Instead, she took the glass and shattered it in her mouth. Although no blood was drawn, this act suggested a deeply disturbed state of mind. 2 days later, on November 6th, Alexander Crittenden succumbed to his wounds. His funeral in San Francisco was a grand affair, one of the largest and most talked about events in California at the time. The entire state was captivated by the dramatic saga unfolding in their midst. The case became one of the first widely publicized murder trials in California's history. The media frenzy was intense, and public opinion was sharply divided. The court found clear evidence that Laura Fair intended to kill Alexander. However, Laura maintained that she had lost her sanity at the moment of the shooting, that her mind was not functioning normally. She claimed a temporary lapse of reason, suggesting that her mental state was severely compromised. Laura Fair's story is a haunting exploration of love, betrayal, mental health, and justice during one of America's most volatile eras. Her life raises difficult questions about the limits of self-defense, the impact of social pressures, and the fragile line between sanity and madness. After the tragic shooting of Alexander Crittenden, the legal battle surrounding Laura Fair took a dramatic and complex turn. During the trial, the defense raised the issue of insanity, claiming that Laura was not mentally sound when she committed the crime. However, despite these arguments, the court initially sentenced her to death by hanging. On June 3, 1871, the court officially announced this sentence, and the execution date was set for July 28, 1871. But the story did not end there. Public outcry erupted. Many people questioned whether justice was truly being served. Supporters argued that Laura's troubled mental state and the difficult circumstances in her life deserved mercy rather than the ultimate punishment. Because of these growing concerns, the case was reopened for review. During the retrial, new evidence and expert testimonies shed light on Laura's mental condition. Psychiatrists examined her and concluded that at the time of the shooting, she was suffering from severe mental illness. They testified that Laura did not possess full control of her mind and was deeply disturbed. Faced with this new understanding, the court reduced her sentence from death to life imprisonment in a mental asylum, a facility dedicated to those with serious psychiatric disorders. This change marked a significant moment not only for Laura Fair, but also for the legal system, which had to grapple with the complexities of mental health and criminal responsibility at a time when such issues were not well understood. The court acknowledged that Laura was also a victim. Her family life had been far from perfect. She had separated from her husband just months before the shooting, and the emotional turmoil had clearly taken a toll on her mental health. One can only imagine what Laura must have felt when she saw Alexander's family happily gathering at the Oakland docks on that fateful day. What emotions stirred within her as she looked at the joyful faces of the family she was once a part of? Was it heartbreak, resentment, or perhaps a painful mixture of sorrow and rage that she could no longer control? It seems that something irreparable was breaking inside her, a storm of feelings that culminated in her pulling out a gun and shooting Alexander in the chest. For Alexander's family, the day that began as a joyful family outing turned into a nightmare they never expected. They had no knowledge of the mysterious woman in black who appeared at the docks. None could have foreseen the violent act that would soon shatter their lives. Looking back, it raises difficult questions. Was Laura a cold-blooded murderer? Or was she a deeply troubled woman driven by a fragile mind and unbearable pain? Should she be seen as a criminal to be punished or a patient to be treated? The Laura Fair case remains one of the most strange and unsettling crimes in San Francisco's history. A case without clear motive or suspicion, where tragedy seemed to strike almost at random. It reveals how fragile the human mind can be, and how important it is for the justice system to understand and consider mental health when determining guilt and punishment. In the end, Laura Fair's story is not just about a crime, but about a life marked by suffering, love, heartbreak, and the blurred line between sanity and madness.